Out something too on illegal immigration. A lot of people watching us right now, obviously, and there's no reason why they really wouldn't know this because it gets in depth beyond what people have really the inclination or time to bother with. But in the illegals that come here, and we have a lot of them here already, probably more than the 12 million that we talk about. But anyway, you point out that a lot of this illegal immigration comes about by way of air and sea rather than the border. What percentage is that we're talking about?
Most estimates will say that 60% of the illegal immigration is coming across the Mexican border. And there's roughly 40% that will be coming by...
Almost half, really.
Almost half by other means. Visa violators, people coming in as tourists, as students, as temporary workers, and then they stay. Plus, you have the boat people that come into Florida from Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Haiti, as well as the territory of Puerto Rico, which is also a way of entering the United States. And there is large numbers of these people coming in illegally. So the problem, it goes far beyond building a fence on the border. And of course, I have my book, and I don't know how much time we have to discuss the details, but I have quite a few suggestions as to what we need to do.
Presidential candidate Newt Gingrich came out with a proposal recently that rankled a whole lot of people and pleased a whole lot of people as well. And that was he wanted to look at a maybe a quote-unquote practical approach toward dealing with and I'll use that figure again, 12 million illegals that are already in this country, and some of them been here for years in this country. I know that I'm sure, knowing how you keep abreast of what's going on, that you watched and listened to that idea or those ideas that Gingrich had. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think that he's trying to be sensible about the question of what to do with the ones that are here. I also know Mr. Gingrich and most of the other candidates, most of all candidates in the country and all figures in the country now accept the fact that we have to do something about the border. The problem is that in doing something about the border, it always ends up being some window dressing, while we then allow, and we have had 7 amnesties, one after the other since 1986. Mr. Gingrich is saying very reasonably we cannot take a position where we're going to ask 12 million people to leave the country, or that we're going to have the means even to say that we're going to physically arrest them and deport them. That is just asking for chaos in the nation, and it would be insane to do so. So when he says people that have established themselves here, who haven't committed crimes, who have behaved appropriately, certainly we have to find some way of letting them survive as productive citizens rather than forcing them into the underground. But the main question is, how do we deal with not only the border, but how do we deal with the illegal immigration inflow that continues? Because they're coming in undigestible numbers.